Hello Maranatha families, my name is Kristen Zuger. I help put together the craft kits that you're going to be using to make your own little Truth Truer scrapbook. You're going to be able to include some family pictures in this, and then you'll also be putting in some review cards, so hopefully you'll have all the information to review with your families about what you learned this week on your Truth Tour. I included pretty much everything you would need, so you should have some like fun pens, the paper bags of course, the stickers and the scrapbook papers. There might be some things that you think you're not sure how to use, like some magnets with some little sticky paperbacks, and then you're going to want these two metal clips too. That's going to hold your scrapbook together. Some other fun things that I didn't include that maybe you want to grab if you have them on hand. So more fun markers, because it's always fun to write whatever memories you have in lots of different colors. And then a pair of scissors, and all those fancy like edged scissors are really fun to use in this too. And if you have your own sticker collection, grab that stuff out too and have some fun putting this together. All right, once you have all your stuff here, I'm going to pause for a second and I'm going to get this situated so you can see exactly what I'm doing on the table instead of looking at my face. So while this is paused, if you wanted to go and get more materials, you could do that and then start the video once you're ready to go. Hopefully now you have a better view of what I'm doing here on the table. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create an extra pocket in these bags. So I folded the bag in half already for you. You guys can see where I have that big crease there. So this is kind of what the bag looks like when it's long. And then I punched some holes in it for you. So eventually we're going to be putting these all together in one stack. But before we do that, we're going to make a second pocket. It already has one pocket. So the top of the paper bag here is going to be one pocket. When I totally unfold this, you can see where the top of the paper bag is. And when it comes from the manufacturer, we can see where that bottom of the bag is. And the manufacturer folds it so the bottom of the bag is folded flat here. What I want you to do is I want you to take this bottom flap here and I want you to fold it down so it meets the very bottom edge of the paper. So now you kind of have like a little puppet mouth here or something. We're going to put glue on this edge right here and the top edge right here. It doesn't go all the way along the whole paper bag. There's sort of a natural stopping line. You can see where this crease is, so that when we fold back the bottom of the paper bag, it's going to match up with this crease right here. So I'm going to take my glue stick, and you can see I folded down that paper bag, and I'm going to put glue stick from that creased line all the way to the bottom on both sides. So it's only on the top edge and the bottom edge. Don't put any across. Then fold it back up and let that dry. That's going to form a second little pocket right here. Do that for all of your paper bags. So you should have 5 of these. You're going to repeat it. Okay, once that's all done, you don't have to let them dry very long. They won't really get, the paper bags won't get stuck together if we stack them all up. So I'm going to just fold them back in half. So there's 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags, 4, and 5. They're all matched up so the holes are on the same side. Now I can grab my little metal clips. I'm going to stick them through those holes. And then at the back here, I'm going to fold these down, and that's going to hold all my paper bags together. Now, I got the start of my book. I'm going to be able to open it up. There's one pocket, and when the glue is dry, I got a second pocket right here that I can fit some treasures in. On the front cover, and I like using the side that has these 2 little round brass tabs as opposed to the back here, I can start decorating this. And I can choose whatever I want. So now's the fun part. Now that we got the construction together, you can start adding your papers and stickers and things to this. I'm going to pause this for a second and I'm going to start cutting up some paper and show you how I choose to. Alright, so I cut a few like rectangles. Some of them are going to be pre-cut for you, but I cut mine down and I just eyeball some things. So for instance, if I decided I wanted to use this paper instead, I'd probably cut along the stash line to get that hole out of there. And then this covers up my whole book just about, which I don't want to cover up quite that much. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just sort of eyeball it and I'm going to cut that down a little bit. If you want to use rulers, it's perfectly fine. Please feel free to use some rulers. If you want to just cut and have all sorts of circles and rectangles and things for yourself to layer, that's okay too. So that's all you got to do for cutting your pieces down. I like to have at least 2 layers. So I've got a background, which is going to be my pattern piece. Then I have something that I'm going to frame things with in an area that's without pattern, and that's really good to write on. And then we're all going to be getting a picture to take home of the families. So this is one we took at our house since I didn't get to be at UBS. So I got the first few layers ready to go. I would just take my glue stick and I gave everybody an extra strength. So hopefully this is really going to hold things down. And here's what I always tell kids when they're gluing. First thing you want to do is you want to go around your edges. So top, side, bottom, back up. Then zigzag back and forth in the middle. Then find the spot you want to put this on. And I'm just going to estimate. And now you got to smooth it out and hold it down for a second because the glue doesn't dry as soon as it touches the paper. So if you don't hold it down for a second and that glue is still wet, the edges of your scrapbook paper are going to curl back up. So this way, hopefully, if I give it a second, when I take my hands off, it's going to be sealed down so it doesn't come back up. Alright, so now I've got my pattern piece, and then I like to put my plain piece on so I have a place to kind of frame the photo and then some place to write on. So I went along all the edges, zigzag in the middle, and then what I want to do is I want mine to go horizontal so that my eye can travel a couple different directions when it's looking at this. So I have my vertical piece and my horizontal piece. And then I'm going to put my picture on, and the same thing, this glue will work on these Instamax pictures. So around all the edges, zigzag in the middle, and then I'm just going to kind of line it up there, eyeball it where I want it, and hold it down for a second until the glue gets a chance to dry. Now I get to have even more fun because I get to add on any fun stickers that might be in my kit. Alright, so one of the things you guys all have is some washi tape. So that might be something fun you want to add to the edges, and I think I'm going to put a piece of washi tape right across the bottom. And then I'm going to carefully, so I don't cut my paper bag, cut the edge of the washi tape and let that seal down. So I got a little washi tape on there now. And a little across the top. So I kind of made an extra border on my book. And then I'm going to flip my book over, and on the back here where I have these great big metal flaps, I'm going to tape those down with some washi tape. And that's going to help hold them in place, and it's going to kind of clean up the back so it just looks a little more polished. So I'm going to squish that down. Careful not to cut my bag, but cut that off. I'm going to rub that in place. So that's a little more finished edge on my book here. Boy, we have a lot of glare. There, that's a little better. Okay, so I've got some washi tape on there, and then I'm going to find my marker. And all of you have a black marker, but I also suggest that you grab some fun colored markers too. And you can start writing down on the cover what this book is really going to be about. So I got to turn this around. So I want people to know this is VBS. So I think I'm going to do that on this side, VBS. And it's the year 2020. So I'm going to put that on there. And then this is Truth Tours. So I'm going to write Truth Tour. Alright, so now everybody's going to know what this is about, and I realize on camera that reads backwards. And then the last thing I want to do is I don't really have any other stickers on here, so I'm going to start grabbing stickers and put those on there. Alright, so that's the basics for how to decorate your pages with your pictures. And you guys are going to find all sorts of cool things that you're going to want to do. So the inside pages are going to be where you might put pictures and things. So throughout the week, you'll be getting more pictures. All right, so you're going to have your little card here to fill out as a family. So the first night, you're going to get these, and the family could be working on the scrapbook, and then you could designate somebody to write the answers. And as a family, review kind of what you learned. So you're going to talk about what is truth that first night and what is absolute truth. And I don't want to give you guys the answers because hopefully you got those with Michelle. Once you've filled those cards out, here's where the ribbons come in. So you're going to take your ribbon, and I want you to fold that in half. And then I want you to take that folded edge and pop it through the hole that I punched in your review card. And then you should have a loop here on one side and a tail on the other. So don't pull the ribbon all the way through. Then take your tails and put them up through the loop. Gently pull. And that's going to seal that ribbon onto your review card. You could continue to decorate that with your stickers and things. And when you're all done and you filled that out, that goes inside your pocket. Your big pocket. Now you're going to have your pictures from this week, but then you're also going to be able to pull out your tags and talk as a family about what you learned that week in VBS. So that's pocket number 1. Pocket number 2 will be for the verses. So your second pocket here, we're going to slip your verses in. And you're going to get some printouts from Michelle for that. And then your third little special thing, I made an envelope, and for the verse that we really want you guys to concentrate on, we're going to make a magnet to help you memorize that on the fridge. Let me get that stuff